Ayan. Okay, so we are down to the last two examples na lang. And in these two examples, makikita natin iba pang itsura ng mga polynomial equations of higher degree which can be expressed as quadratic equations. So in here and in the other one, yung ating common base ay hindi na lang variable, kundi it's a binomial. Okay, kasi kanina mga monomial eh. Okay, ito x squared minus 2, ito x squared minus 2 quantity squared. Yung exponent 1 dito, ito exponent 2. So the lower exponent can be, the higher exponent can be expressed as twice the lower. Kasi 2 equals 2 times 1. Ibig lang sabihin yan, we can reduce this, okay, as a quadratic equation. So let the binomial x squared minus 2 be equal to t. And then, syempre, yung x squared minus 2 na quantity squared is just going to be t squared. Kasi yung binomial sa loob is just represented as t and then square it. So, t squared lang. Ibig sabihin, we will have t squared minus t minus 6 equals 0 as our derived quadratic equation. Okay, so is this factorable? I think so. Kasi there are numbers na ang product ay negative 6, two numbers whose product is this, and the difference, or sorry, the sum is negative 1. Okay, the invisible negative 1 here. So, ano yung mga yon? We have negative 3 and positive 2. Their product is negative 6, their sum is negative 1. So, meaning, this will be the constant terms in the binomial factors we have to write. So, equals 0. So, again, the first term in each binomial factor will be t, coming from the square root of t squared. And then, for this one, let's write positive 2, and then in here, negative 3. Although, of course, pwede namang mauna yung minus 3, tapos may plus 2 sa kabila. Remember, the factors, yung order nila, hindi naman nagmamatter because multiplication is commutative. So, this is the factored form already. So, we apply lang ZPP. So, t plus 2 equals 0, and then t minus 3 equals 0. So, from t plus 2 equals 0, we get that t is negative 2. From t minus 3 equals 0, t here is positive 3. So, these are the obtained roots for the derived quadratic equation, but not of the original kasi we have to do something pa. At ito yon. We will equate x squared minus 2 to the obtained value of t. So, una, x squared minus 2 equals negative 2. So, yung pangalawa, x squared minus 2 equals 3. So, we will isolate muna x squared, and this will be equal to negative 2 plus 2. Transpose kasi negative 2. This will be equal to, or written as, x squared equals 0. And therefore, syempre, sige, pakita lang din muna natin yung square root property. X equals positive or negative square root of 0. Ang square root ka ng 0 ay 0, but 0 is neither positive nor negative. So, it's simply 0. X equals 0. Okay, this is already one of the roots of the original polynomial equation. From here naman, x squared equals 3 plus 2 siya yan. Okay, kasi negative 2 nga gets transposed as positive 2. And this will give us x squared equals 5. And therefore, x equals positive or negative square root of 5. And this represents the other roots of the equation. Positive or negative square root of 5. Alright, so last example na lang natin. So, kagaya kanina, oh, by the way, this has an exponent 2. Yan. So, this is of degree 4. Ito naman of degree 2. So, binomial ulit yung ating mga involved dito. So, yung 4 is expressible as twice the lower exponent 2. So, meaning yung x squared minus 3 quantity squared will be represented as, let's say, u. And therefore, yung x squared minus 3 quantity raised to 4, which is expressible as the square of this. So, magiging siyang x squared minus 3 quantity squared pa. Okay, kasi 2 times 2 is 4. So, itong nasa itong nasa loob, yung x squared minus 3 quantity squared, yan yung u. Therefore, u raised to 2 will represent this. So, u squared. So, ibig sabihin, this equation here is expressible as u squared minus 5u plus 6 equals 0. Okay, so is this solvable by factoring? Okay, are there two numbers ng product ay positive 6 at ang sum ay negative 5? Meron pa rin kasi we have the numbers negative 2 and negative 3. Multiply them, you get positive 6. Add them, you get negative 5. So meaning, we are ready to write the factors and the factored form of the equation. So we have u minus 2 and u minus 3. Saan galing yung u? So square ng u squared and then we of x lang yung mga obtained numbers natin kanina to satisfy the conditions. So ZPP lang. So u minus 2 equals 0 and then u minus 3 equals 0. From u minus 2 equals 0, you get that u is positive 2. From u minus 3 equals 0, you get that u is positive 3. So, ibig lang sabihin yan, we just have to equate this expression here to the obtained values of u. So, unahin natin yung 2. X squared minus 3 quantity squared equals positive 2. So, this is again of the form x squared equals k. Yun nga lang, x is a binomial. Still, we can apply square root property. So, x squared minus 3 equals positive or negative square root of 2. Tama? And therefore, x squared is equal to 3 plus or minus square root of 2. And we're not actually done yet. Kasi, ito okay, take note of this. X squared pa to equals 3 plus or minus square root of 2. So, ibig lang sabihin yan, we have to apply again square root property. So, x equals positive or negative the square root of 3 plus or minus square root of 2. So, ang gulo, no? Pero we will not simplify this kasi magiging komplikado na. So, ilang roots ang nire-represent yan nito? Parang 4, ano? Kasi, positive or negative nito na may dalawang operation sa loob, di ba? Plus, addition at subtraction. So, ibig sabihin, x sub 1 is positive square root of 3 plus square root of 2. X sub 2 is positive the square root of 3 minus square root of 2. X sub 3 is negative the square root of 3 plus square root of 2. And then x sub 4 equals negative the square root of 3 minus square root of 2. Tapos yung pangalawang obtained value ng u is 3. So, x squared minus 3 quantity squared equals 3. So, again, we apply lang yung square root property. So, we have x squared minus 3 equals positive or negative square root of 3. And therefore, x squared should be equal to positive 3 plus or minus square root of 3. And we apply again the square root property kasi nga x squared ito. So, x equals positive or negative square root of the quantity 3 plus or minus square root of 3. And this here represents the other 4 roots of the equation. Okay, kasi the degree of this equation is actually 8 kasi 2 times 4. X squared raised to 4 is x raised to 8. So, a polynomial equation of degree 8 has 8 roots. Pwedeng real lahat or pwedeng may mga imaginary doon. So, x sub 5 equals positive the square root of 3 plus square root of 3. And then x sub 6 is positive the square root of 3 minus square root of 3. X sub 7 is negative the square root of 3 plus square root of 3. And then finally, x sub 8 equals negative the square root of 3 minus square root of 3. Ayan. So, nabigyan ako ng itong example. So, you will have an idea kapag naka-encounter ka ng ganitong klaseng equation. So, I hope nakatulong yung mga video natin in making you learn or acquire the competencies na nakapaloob sa lessons na to. So that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.